Hello, good morning, Gary Champion, psychic medium, once again. Um, my wife has influenced this video, as she will know, when she sees it. But we're going to be giving some classes on self-healing. And I'm able to heal other people, I'm able to heal myself. It's not me alone, it's me with guides. That's very important. And knowing where to go to make it work. So it's a mental exercise. So we were talking about giving classes on self healing, and she said, "Yeah, but you wrote that book on manifesting, and you could give a class on that." And I thought, okay, well that's something I could add. And then I confused myself. I don't know how many of you do that, but as a medium, it's not hard to do. You say one thing, and then you start thinking about it. And this is exactly what we're talking about with self-healing or with manifesting. The more you think about it, the less you can actually do. I don't have that problem. I've never been accused of being a thinker. Stuff flows out of me or through me, but I don't really think about it. Is obvious by some of the videos I've done. She says, "You say crazy things all the time. It doesn't seem to bother anybody." I'm not aware if I'm saying crazy things or not. They sound normal to me because that's what I do. Anyway, she was talking about me teaching manifesting class. I thought, well, I'll just do a little video about it, that manifesting's not that difficult. I think maybe I've talked about this in the past. I'm not for sure, but I manifested this house. There's a convertible in the garage that was manifested. This wife I have was manifested. Hard to believe, but there's two sides of the coin there. On one, there's a lot of rules. A lot of rules. Can't do this, can't do that. This doesn't work. No, don't mess with that. That method of manifesting are for thinkers. They don't usually work very well. You usually end up with crap because of who they are. Manifesting requires imagination, visualization, creativity. People who are numbers people don't have that, or they wouldn't be in numbers. They wouldn't be mathematicians or engineers or people with specific thought patterns. People with a lot of rules don't rule in the manifesting world. That's the other side's idea of a joke. Manifesting requires very little positive thought, but there are some rules. You can't manifest revenge. If you're interested in revenging somebody, make that person die because I hate them. That's hate that's just turning inward. It's going to hurt you. It doesn't hurt anybody else. That's the same sort of theory of people, and this is an interesting part that this just came to me from the other side. That people who cast spells think that has some effect, and it doesn't. Otherwise, I'd be dead, because a lot of voodoo people where my people are from, and I've been cursed by a lot of people and been told that I was cursed by them in order to intimidate me or one thing or another. I used to get late night phone calls and all kinds of crap like that. We'll put a curse on you. Oh, okay, well, good luck with that. And it's been tried before. It doesn't work because curses don't have any power unless you believe in them. If you believe in a curse, then you're screwed. Something bad's going to happen to you. Ooh, ooh. So yeah, that's not true. Just because somebody says something or casts a spell doesn't. Intentions that are hateful hurt you. They don't really hurt somebody. You can't manifest someone to die. Although I've had people ask me about that. When is my husband going to die? That's the big one I usually get. How long is he going to hang on? I'm sick of him. They don't say that, but I'm a medium. I can read him. I said, "You're really tired of this guy." I said, "Yeah. You can't manifest death. It comes in its own time. That person can cross themselves over ahead of time, but through words and sad thoughts, misdirected thoughts, someone's saying, you can't cause someone's death. Anyway, two kinds of manifesting. I got off subject there, sorry, but I'm known to do that. So let's go back to the two kinds of people who manifest. The ones who are numbers oriented. Everything has square corners. All the boxes, like this room, is a square. So many inches, so much. Everything is precise. That doesn't exist in manifesting. It exists in a fantasy world, sort of, an unreal world, one that exists to me more than the real world here. I don't put any faith in what I see here, but the things that you don't know make perfect sense to me. Someone's telling me, don't obfuscate. I learned that word in high school. My English teacher, don't confuse people. So I know they're talking directly to me. See, there's no confusion there for me. For you, it's terrible confusion, but for me, it's not. Manifesting requires clarity of thought without specifics. Are you confused now? I hope so. It wasn't intended to be confusing. When you manifest something, it's best if let's take a car, for instance. I manifested this car in the garage for my wife. She arrived here without a car, didn't need one, gave her car to her daughter, so she didn't have a car. She wanted her own car. So we drove around in my car, pulled into a lot, and I knew what was going to happen before it happened. I didn't get specific. So my wife wants a convertible. She wants an American convertible. She likes American cars. If you look and see, there aren't any American companies making convertibles. I think maybe we bought the last one. And salesman said, well, I think we've got one somewhere. And they did. They were using it to get pizzas or something in. And no one tried to sell it. I don't know why. It was a beautiful car. But I didn't say I want an orange model, serial number. It has to have heated seats. It has to have the premier sound package. It has to have the details don't do well on the other side. My wife wanted an American convertible. Didn't ask about color. They drove it out, and it had been sitting out, and they hadn't done anything to it. They just driven it. So I said, let's drive it, and we got in it and drove it. Oh, great car. Great power. All the sleek stuff you'd like, the heated seats and the power and the radio and the sound system, and it has like 20 buttons for heating or air conditioning or something. It's hard. We just start punching buttons. Eventually it turns out okay. Bluetooth, and the convertible top is like, it's so precision you can't imagine. So if you're out on the street and you hit the button to take the top down, people stop because it's it's quite impressive. Anyway, she said she loved it. She loved the car. It was everything. We couldn't figure all the other stuff out, but it was a new car. They just had failed to sell it for some reason. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect for her because she had in her heart what she wanted. She didn't get specific. I can't get specific. And we drove it off. They cleaned it up. They polished it up, vacuumed it. It was looked like a brand new car. And the price was, I can't tell you how low it was, but we didn't pay much for it. It's lack of faith in a salesman to sell it. It's a beautiful car. Came out of the garage the other day, and we don't drive it very much, and drove down this little street here, and everybody stopped. Whose car is that? That's an amazing car with the top down. I mean, so the desire, the need more than wanting, the need for something is also an important factor. She needed a car. She did. Go do things that she does without me tagging along or driving her there or whatever. So she has her own car. And it was manifested. All she had to do was say, I need a car. And I want an American convertible. That's all I needed. I saw it in my head, visualized what was possible, drove right to the lot. The only lot that would have had a car like that, and they don't make any more of them. So manifesting little things are just as easy. I'll tell you a story. It's a good story. You like my stories. My brother and I were in Mississippi for my father, who was looking for a job. And we were left on our own. We were walking around. Everything's lush and green because it rains all the time. And we wandered upon this. This is in the book I wrote, Manifesting, so I remember it clearly. It was a restaurant not far from the hotel where we were. And the center of the restaurant was a tree. It's a 400-year-old tree. It was just humongous in the middle. Just took up the center of the cafe. And there was a sign there, this tree has been certified to be over 400 years old, stuff like that. We were walking along, and we didn't have any money. We were poor. That's why we were in Mississippi looking for a job. And I started thinking, if I had a dime, I could get me a piece of candy, or I could get me a candy bar, get me a Coke, or get me something to eat. And we're just walking along. We're not even talking. We're just walking. And there it was. It's a dime that I needed was right on the ground. I picked it up. Isn't that interesting? And then here's what really happened. I do know I didn't create that dime, but my guides knew where it was, and they led me to it. We walk over this way. Boom, there it was. So we spent a long time canvassing that whole area for coins. We didn't find anything, just that dime. I didn't spend it for a candy bar because my brother didn't have, I guess I manifested for me and I did manifest for him, which is another slight rule. You can manifest stuff for yourself, but you can't for other people. And I didn't spend it because I didn't want to upset him that I would buy a candy bar, and it wasn't enough to buy two, so I just put it in my pocket. I kept it for quite a while. But there it was. This is manifesting. It's a tiny thing. It's a dime, but when you're a little kid, you're thinking that's a lot of money. And back then, it was pretty good coinage for a little kid. And so it's not just big things, cars and houses. It's little things. It's maybe a tool that you need for something that you've never heard of. All of a sudden you start looking and there it is. Or somebody comes by the next day and says, I found this old tool. Do you want this old tool? And it's perfect for what you were wanting. Life is like that. Can you manifest being rich? I don't know. Never thought about it. Probably if you wanted to. People manifest being poor all the time. Think about that one. Anyway, a little video about manifesting I thought you might be interested in. That it's a positive thought. It's the ability to visualize and imagine and it's a need for something, but sometimes it's not even that. So give it a shot. See if you can't manifest some good things in your life. Anyway, that was one of the classes that I was going to teach. Teaching a class on self-healing. June the 20th, I think, is the first day for it. 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. A little plug for that. I think it's June the 20th. Anyway, yeah, I know it is. And my wife said I should teach a class on manifesting. I thought, well, that's a good idea. And I started writing on it, and I realized it's not something I'm ready to do yet. I thought, well, I could do a video on it, maybe give you a clue as to some things that are possible. But it all has to do with you, the kind of person you are, and your need for it. I feel like that everything that I have has been put in my way for me to discover and choose if it's something I want to do or not do. So guides are you've got them for a reason. They picked you for a reason. You don't pick guides, they pick you. And you've got them for a reason. Why not use them? Why not ask them to do something for you? That's sort of their job, if you think about it. Their job is to help you get through life better. And if finding a dime for a candy bar will do that, they can make that happen. If finding you a better job or someone to love, that's a tough one. But that's how my wife showed up. Now, running at 17 minutes, a little long for me. You can manifest things that are bad for you. Done that. Really bad for you. People. Because you didn't put any parameters on it. Women, I want a man. Oh, you're going to get a man, but it may not be the one you want. Asking for a man who's compatible or that has a good sense of humor or something along those lines is a much better manifestation and much easier to do. So in other words, be careful what you want. There's a sign on a wall once, protect me from things I want. I think I saw it somewhere. I'm not sure where. I've always remembered it though. Protect me from things I want. And most of the time they do. They're not going to give you something that's bad for you, but sometimes they do. Interesting lesson to learn. Just because, I want to marry someone famous. I need a famous wife. I need a famous husband. With a lot of money. Big cars, big house. That's my guy. I want that guy. And you get them and they turn out to be a wife beater. Or they owe everybody in town. Or they're going to jail. Or they've been to jail. Or they're a drug user. Or these things come with a package of assholedom. If your life is about money, you're in sad shape anyway. If you need a big house to feel comfortable about yourself, you're in worse. You need psychological help. You don't need money. You don't need more money. If that's the pinnacle of your life, then you've missed the boat. You missed the whole lake. Forget the car or the boat. You missed the lake. Life's not about that. If it is for you, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you that you've misunderstood the meaning of life. And there's a whole complicated subject there. Maybe I'll fall into that someday and start talking about what life is, or should be, or can be. And that's the end of this video. That's coming up on 20 minutes. I'm not sure I've ever done one that long before, but there you go. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching. If you are watching. If you're not watching, that's okay too.